Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing fantastic. So, we're in another section of the Constitution of the Jesuits. What's really interesting about this one is that when it comes to what they call the temporal courtiers, who are basically people who are going to be put in positions where they do cooking, cleaning, taking care of the grounds work. They can do all kinds of tasks, but they're quite different than the spiritual courtiers. But what I found quite interesting is that they are going to be assigned to things that they may not agree with, and that they cannot be asked if they want to switch. They have to really accept their role. And it goes further to say that even if you are the spiritual courtier, the temporal courtier, a scholastic, and whatnot, you cannot seek to change your vocation because change is impossible. Rather, you should endeavor to grow in your abnegation of self and to pursue genuine virtues. They really want you to understand that the temporal courtiers are meant to be in these low and humble offices and ministries, and that they should want to do it for the benefit of the house and the society and for the Creator, their Lord. For His love, reverence, until the day they die. I found this to be quite potent. It's interesting because they're going to ask them straight up, can you handle this, basically? And if you can't, maybe this ain't for you. And remember, they want the people to really be humble, chaste, poverty. You're not allowed to have secret stashes of money outside the society or some lucrative business. Rather, you're really going to give it all up, essentially. It's really unique. It goes on further to state that spiritual and temporal courtiers, as well as scholastics, after about 2-3 years of experience in their probations, they have to make these vows. And they're sort of solemn vows, oblation vows, which are obedience, poverty, and chastity. So, you're not going to be able to have your wife. You're going to have to obey what the people in the society say, your superiors. And you're going to have to be okay with poverty. You're not going to be there for luxury. And then after such vows have been taken by them, they are perpetually obliged to live and die in their Lord, and with the society, for the greater glory of the divine majesty, as well as their own greater merit and stability. So, wow, it's quite a lot. So basically what we've learned thus far is the extensive testing of their minds, of their will, and even their study ethics. They're really going to make sure that you know what you're signing up for, and if you're going to be willing to assimilate and accommodate as much as they're going to ask you. That you have to be willing to follow through on those tasks and not try to wiggle out of it or find loopholes. It's very to the point. And you really have to, it appears, love the society of the Jesuits. You really have to be content with serving it. It's very fascinating. I think I'm a Muslim, but I would be the type, I think, to be a scholastic because of how much I love to study. And I would hope that I would be sorted in such a position, because the temporal, it sounds like what I would do on the outside, but the scholastics seem to have more of a mode of being that I agree with. It's very fascinating. And just to be clear, it clearly says here multiple times, he ought not to seek directly or indirectly through himself or someone else to urge or attempt any change from his first vocation to another. So, once you've accepted, that's what you've accepted. And remember, the spiritual coadjutors, they aid in the society hearing confessions, giving exhortations, teaching Christian doctrine, and other branches of study. And remember, the temporal is a different type of enjoined duty. They're put to good works. They're put to attending things that the apostolic see is requires of them. It's just quite different. It's like it's like an employment that might be, like we said, cooking, whatever it is that they're gonna put you in, but it's not the same as the spiritual coadjutors. Very cool. But again, scholastics who are ordained permanent deacons, by way of exception, they can be admitted into this grade of spiritual coadjutor. So there are some very unique aspects to how they go about organizing this. But they definitely try to make you see that you have a sense of greater service than yourself. And you shouldn't think you're better than any station that they put you in. And you should do it to the best of your abilities and be enthusiastic to do it and to see it as a privilege granted to you by the apostolic see, and that it's for the good of your own soul, because they figured out where you belong, what your strengths are, and that you should try to go about fulfilling that as much as you can. Hope you learned something. Have a good day.